Hi Aries, this is going to be your Sun, Moon, and Rising for November 2025. Please keep in mind that these readings are general and the messages will not resonate with everyone, so check back your Moon and Rising sign. Also, my website is now up and running. She did a lovely job. You can email me at HiddenLotus. You can visit my website at HiddenLotusTarot.com, where you can find all my readings, my services. You can pick a package and you can fill out the booking form and I will contact you back. My turnaround time is 24 to 72 hours because I don't like to make people wait. So what do I have here? This is the last reading I have to do because I started with Pisces this month. Usually I start at the very top and load them up that way, but this time I started with Pisces. I have the Radiant White deck with me. I have the La Vida Sibila for clarification should we need. And I'm going to wrap the reading up. I don't know why my camera got so blurry. With the Psychic Oracle Tarot. I think we need a little bit of healing. I've already done some meditation and shuffling on your sign and glyph, Aries. So I'm going to turn the camera on. I'm going to shuffle and rifle one more time and then we'll get started with the reading. There's a first card, so I'm gonna stop right there and put my rifle on, because usually that means that there's some kind of change in the energy for you, Aries, when the cards just started flying out the deck. Let's cut the deck. 9 cards down. Here we go. First card was a Strength card, which is an 8. The World card. That's big energy already. The 9 of Swords. Aries. Next row. The 4 of Swords. The 8 of Cups. That's why I said that the Strength was an 8. I just had a feeling another 8 would come out. That's significant when the numbers repeat themselves. Justice. Last row, 3 of Cups. Seven of Swords. And finally, the 5 of Cups. Aries, what's going on? What is over the entire reading? The energy? The 8 of Wands. That's 3 8s, but this is not in the spread proper. I'll start with the 8 of Wands. The overall energy. I think this is a situation in which it's going to move quickly. Whatever's happening, it's going to move quickly. And it says that you should hang on, because whatever's happening, it's going to happen kind of fast. What do I have? 3 major arcana, which are your spiritual lessons, 3 swords, and 3 cups. It's things of threes. So there could be delays and postponements before future successes can be realized. So this situation with the 8 of Wands, it could be saying that there are going to be some delays, some heartache, some pain. But once you get through that, it's going to go pretty fast. Now, we start in the center with the 8 of Cups. 8s are karmic numbers. They usually represent money. But this 8 of Cups is all about, I think this situation may have occurred in September because of eclipse season. Because it's the only eclipse moon in the deck. Eclipses can play out all the way from 6 months to 19 years. When there's a repeat of the eclipse on across the same sun. So it's that long. Something that happened back in September of this year can play all the way out till 19 years later. You won't see the benefit of it or how it plays into your life, but it's definitely about some kind of change, because eclipses are game changers. So this is eclipse moon, and the card says you have been feeling somewhat bereft, hollow. You've been searching for something more to fulfill you. But it also says if you have invested all the time, energy, and effort into it and still not working out, the only thing that you can do is abandon it completely. Don't waste any more time or effort on what this thing is, because you may be want to change plans in the future. Okay? I got a feeling this happened around 8 months ago. So August, the Leo card. So that's 2 8s. So the Strength card has come along to say, no matter what the problem is, you have to face your fears. The cards are read past, present, future. Past, present, future with the interplay of the cards. You have to look your fears in the mouth, because if you can't name them, you don't know what the problem is. When you can name a fear, you can conquer it, or at least work on conquering it, right? And so this female right here, she has walked over to the lion and she pries his mouth open. She has no fear. She's not using a gun, a whip, or a chair to coerce the thing to do what she wants to do. She simply walked over to it and opened his mouth in a gentle manner. So a lot of times this card will come up when you need to forgive yourself about something. But if you have to forgive somebody else, you should do that as well. It also is what it's telling me. Sometimes you may have to compromise and admit you're wrong and be strong enough to do that. Okay? But more than that, we have the World card. And the World card says you're on the cusp of changing or graduating from this cycle, spiritual cycle. It's like you're going to level up on a spiritual level. And the World card says you are about to graduate this spiritual cycle. You have to focus on where you want to go. You have to look at the past and view what has happened. Take some responsibility for when things went wrong. Think about what went wrong. Own up to it. It's sort of like this card. but it says that you are about to move forward on a new cycle. She is in a wreath and protected. But something is bothering you. Here is the Nine of Swords. And nines focus on the completion of events. It's not a 10, but it's a 9. And so, whatever this thing is, you're trapped in your mind. Because the reality of the situation may not be as bad as you think it is. Swords represent thoughts, beliefs, perceptions, ideas, and communication. So you may have said something bad to somebody. Somebody may have said something bad about you. There may have been gossip. You may have lost something that you meant a lot to you. A very painful situation. And the 8 and the 9 and the 9 card of Swords is a difficult energy to get out of. Because the 9 of Swords says that you have climbed down into your mind. And you're having nightmares. Feeling guilty. A guilty conscience. Fearful. Worried. Insomnia. Can't sleep. Sitting up at night worried about it. Or laying awake at night thinking about it over and over again. So what you have to learn to do is control your thoughts, and then you can climb out of your mind. I say that you do that because next to that we have the 4 of Swords. So it says you have to take a break. Because maybe you have been working too hard. You've been thinking too hard. You've been whatever too hard. And so the card focuses on rest and relaxation, meditation, calming your mind. But it also implies that there has been a previous conflict. Because we have 3 swords on the wall. But one is right here at the ready. But this is an effigy. It's not even a real person. So I call this the ghosting card. Maybe you have to stop talking to somebody for your own peace and mental health. Maybe they stop talking to you for their own peace and mental health. But either way it goes, it shows a withdrawal from circumstances, from a fight. Now, I don't know if this was a legal issue or not, but justice is here. And justice is all about weighing up 2 different substances and picking the pros and cons. Maybe it's water and sand. You have to weigh them up equally and pick the pros and cons. So the card calls for logic and reason, not sentimentality, but fair and balanced logic and reason. Looking at both sides. Okay? And if no matter if it's a legal issue, if the thing comes down against you, you can say it was fair and it was just. It was karmic. Even if you feel you got the short end of the stick. My dad used to say when he was in business, he said, want to know how a negotiation, people went into a negotiation and neither one of them got what they wanted, that's a good deal. You may not get your way, but at least it's over and you can move on. So even it says to use your own logic and reason when dealing with justice. So here is the 3 of Cups. And 3 of Cups is a 3 which talks about maybe there might be 3 people involved in a situation, and or that there can be delays before or postponements before future successes can be realized. The 3 of Swords just basically to me means a universal celebration, a birthday, an anniversary, a baby shower, a bridal shower, a sad party, a graduation, going to a graduation. No matter where you see this celebration or event, you recognize it when you see it because it's universal. But now we come to the Seven of Swords. And this card has a lot of different meanings. Most times it just means, most people interpret it as being someone stole from you, someone lied to you, someone's been deceptive, deceiving you, playing tricks on you. And that's true. It's also meaning. But the Seven of Swords also means that if things haven't been going your way, it's probably because you haven't been paying attention to what you're doing. You've been rushing around and not paying attention to the fine details. It says that there could be postponements, fights, arguments, usually over money. It also says you can't blame anybody if you haven't been paying attention or doing what you should have done. It also, I keep getting this, there's some kind of fight or bad words here, or because we have the implied 3 and the implied 5 of wands. I mean 5 of swords. Here. It also says maybe someone has been trying to evade the consequences of the karma, and they've been, you have allowed people to behave towards you, or you have behaved towards people where the means just justify the ends. But I think the lesson is you should not try to place blame on anybody. Own up to what you did. Because the other meaning is, if you have been deceptive or deceiving somebody, you will be caught out and have dire consequences. And finally, we come to the 5 of Cups. So look at this. From the 8 to the 5 gives me 3 cups. Yeah? And so I don't know if you lied about or you deceived somebody about this universal gathering, but here the 5 of Cups represents remorse, sorrow, sadness, but it also represents, I call this the 2 of Cups in disguise. Why? Because behind him he has 2 cups. So if he can throw off the cloak of feeling sorry for himself and turn around and face the other direction, all is not lost. This may be about drinking. There's some spilled wine. I know what it's about, but the person is feeling sorry for themselves. They're feeling sorry for the circumstances. They're feeling depressed. Now, I can only look. I don't have any cool cards. I can look at the 9 of Swords, the 4 of Swords, the 8 of Cups, the 3 of Cups, the 7 of Swords, and the 5 of Cups as they relate to the Strength card, the World, and the Justice card. Let me take them as they fell. 9 of Swords. This is going over something that bothers you. Nothing about the 9 of Swords next to these 2 cards. 4 of Swords. Next to Judgment, but doesn't say Justice. That's Justice, not Judgment. The 8 of Cups. Nothing about the 8 of Cups. And 2/8 speak to a slight regard or concern with a new romance, partnership, or relationship. Three of Cups. Nothing about the Three of Cups. The Seven of Swords. Nothing about the Seven of Swords. And finally, the Five of Cups. It doesn't tell me anything about that. But if you notice the white bridge in this card, see it right there? It talks about marital difficulties and divorce and disillusionment in love. A strong message of the Five of Cups is that love cannot truly flourish in the atmosphere of pretense and untruth. So this is maybe why someone is leaving. And I think that this is Mercury and Sagittarius, and so Mercury goes retrograde in Sagittarius on the stations retrograde on the 9th, and on the 10th it backs up and goes retrograde into Sagittarius on the 10th. So that's how fast this can go. I don't know how it's gonna turn out. I don't want to lay cards on that because this tells me pretty much all I need to know. There's some kind of disharmony. I think you may have been afraid to face up to it. You try to maybe party it away, feel good, because this is the only feel good card that there is. I see that you have stopped talking to somebody or remove yourself from a situation. So I'm gonna pull let me if that card was meant to come out, it'll come out again. Eight of Cups. Emotional withdrawal. Let's read. That's 2 8s I have right there. Eight of Cups, I mean. This card represents moving away or withdrawing from a current situation in your life, whether it's an old love, a relationship, or leaving behind what was once familiar in search of new horizons or new beginnings. On a physical level, it's easy to get caught up in the materialistic world, but it's just as important to retreat from the outside world to enable you to pause, reflect, and heal. Schedule some time alone so you can commune with your soul and give the power of spirit the opportunity to restore your energy level, giving you the vitality to move forward in a positive direction. The number 8 represents infinity, passion, control, and power. This is your time. Use this opportunity to tap into your heart and soul in order to find the courage and strength to continue your journey into that wonderful undiscovered territory. And that's what I have for you, Aries, for November 2025. Good luck.